This is Charlie Waymeyer at Ultimate Rhythm Studios, back for another installment of Tips and Tricks. Today we have a really special treat. A good buddy of mine and a fantastic singer, Brian Hacksaw Williams, is going to talk to you about some vocal techniques to help you get better vocal takes in the studio. But before we get to Brian, let me show you some of my vocal techniques.
Whew, boy, I'm glad. Nobody wants to see that. Hi, I'm Brian Hacksaw Williams, singer extraordinaire. I'm here to talk to you about some tips for singing in the studio. If you've ever been tracking vocals and you get done with your take and you go into the control room and you don't like what you sounded like, or it's not what you thought it was going to sound like, a lot of times that's because you've been paying attention to the wrong world. Now, what I mean by that is when you're recording vocals, there are two worlds. There's you standing in a room in front of this microphone. There's also another world. The world is coming back to you through your headphones. This is the world you need to be paying attention to. You need to immerse yourself in that world. How do I sound? Singing along with my bandmates, singing along with the track. Is this what I want it to sound like? Not you in the room. See, it's a lot like making a shadow puppet on the wall. Me standing in front of the microphone, that's my hand. I'm manipulating that, right? But as I'm manipulating the hand, what I'm really paying attention to is the shadow on the wall. How is what I do with my hand affecting the shadow on the wall? These headphones are the shadow on the wall, and this is what matters. And this, if it's right, will be right when you listen back to it in the studio. So, once I immerse myself in the world that is my headphones, I tend to do a lot of my vocal takes with my eyes closed. Why? Because I'm living in this world. All right, I only open my eyes to glance at the lyrics. The rest of the time, I'm keeping my feet in the same spot for most of the singing I'm doing. However, I'm also listening. If it's going to be a quiet spot, I'll lean in a little bit, all right? Don't want to get too close, don't want to pop in here, but I'll lean in on something quiet. If I'm going to blast a big, loud, powerful note, I tend to lean back, and I also tend to sing under the diaphragm of the microphone. That way, it's not going to be too hot. I mean, what good is hitting a big note if it's too hot and you got to do it again? So I'll lean back and sing under. All right, now let's go to some game tape. All right, we got a handsome guy singing here. Notice my eyes are closed. I'm immersed in my headphones. Hot note, back off. Got another hot note coming up. Now back up, sing under. See that there. Now we've got a quiet note coming up. I'm going to lean in. And now the money note, under and back. Man, this guy's awesome.
Learning to work the mic is important if you want to put your vocal performance in your hands. Then you don't need to rely on the engineer. Hacksaw, thanks for joining us today. That's it for this installment of Ultimate Rhythm Studios Tips and Tricks. We'll see you in the studio.